Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today we're going to be trying out an alpha clone fit for the Guristas hunt. This is a fit I made that is made for alpha clones, and it can finish the first gate, or the first wave you could say, no problem whatsoever. I've done many of those sites and it works really well. And I'm in fact using a guy who is an alpha clone right now. Well, he's not an alpha clone, but he's only trained alpha clone skills. This is Mr. Agrubrutor. And he's very brutal with this brutal look of his. So he's an Omega clone, but he's only trained Alpha clone skills. So if you guys are curious, you can just see here. I'm just training all these Alpha clone skills and just leaving off all the Omega stuff, just because I want to have a good testing platform to show you guys different things with Alpha clones. And he has not even got a full maxed Alpha clone. You can see there's tons of skills I still need to train. Like he can't even use Tech 2 light drones. So he's pretty basic, especially right now. And for this Guristas hunt, I decided to go with a Dragoon. The Dragoon seems to have very good potential because it has a bit of a balance of DPS and tank and capacitor. It seems to, at least for this event, be very, very good, especially for alpha clones. For Omegas, I think Assault frigates are a lot better though, or some kind of destroyer. Before we go on with the video, I just want to announce the last skin giveaway I made, the winners. So here are the 10 winners. This is from that 1 million view special video I made it quite a while ago now, like almost a week ago, I think. So Sawyer James Leon, you get a Vexo skin because he said you wanted to have any. Feeds a lot is going to feed more Caracals with a Caracal skin. Brinton Anzomi is going to get a Caracal skin. Nolan Uta, Vexo skin. Supam Vexo, Zebadi Rupture, The Revenant, Kren Draven, Vexo, Maxwell Sandals, a Rupture, Chandrama, Rupture, and Daygiver is going to get a Caracal skin. So I'll contract these to you guys in due time. You'll see soon a contract giving up to you with the skin. So I hope you guys enjoy them, and I hope you fly in style with your new skins, or if you decide to sell it, you enjoy that Dankisk. So here's the good thing is that with this event, they had their login rewards, and they made it so that you got these key cards as a reward. And since I'm in Omega, I get 2 of these as well, so that's really cool. So we'll not have to waste any time, finding stupid key cards. However, people have told me a lot that it could be a very good idea to go to low sec and null sec, because apparently the way it works is that, in high sec, there's obviously going to be a lot of people like myself going around looking for these, different hunt eggs or irregular capsules, and they're all going to be picked up. So apparently a lot of people are telling me that in nullsec especially, that they're like all over the place. People are seeing them all over the place because they're just so damn many. And I shouldn't be warping to that. What am I doing? That's an old undock bookmark right here. Interesting, because it was such a long time since I used this character. The Dragoon fit I'm using is basically based like this, okay? It's using 2 armor pairs because we need a bit of tank. It's not like a whole lot of tank we need, but we need a bit of tank, okay? We need a bit of tank. And then we've got this thermal armor hardener over here. The reason we've got this thermal armor hardener is because they do predominantly thermal damage, these Guristas. These are not the typical Guristas. Normal Guristas you find in anomalies and, ratting in havens or, D&D sites. They do almost only kinetic, but here's and a tiny bit of thermal. Here it's basically switched, you can say. They almost do only thermal damage here and a tiny bit of kinetic. So that's why we're going with this particular module right here to give us a lot of thermal resistance, so we can tank a lot. And the dual armor pairs, they help, definitely, they really help a lot. This capacitor power relay, I put this here just to get a bit of extra capacitor. To be honest, if you have good capacitor skills, I wouldn't say you would even need this. You could probably just put a damage module here, but I just did this to be a little bit of extra safe. The 2 cap batteries here really help a lot because cap batteries naturally make you resist a lot of neuting pressure. So having them, 2 of them, is going to make us have a good time right here. You see here, capacitor warfare resistance, 22%. Then we just 2 of them and get quite a bit of reduced capacitor warfare, or neutralizing, because there's a lot of newts in these sides. And another good thing is that we're using predominantly weapon systems that are based on not using capacitor. So we're going to have a good time doing damage, even if we somehow, in worst case scenario, were to get neuted out, which I don't get. But we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna see how this goes because I've not actually done the boss room in this, but I didn't have too much issues with the boss room. It was, in fact, I felt like it was more deadly in the first room. But we're gonna see if we can get some nice loot with this, because it'll be really cool if we can get some good loot. This ship right here mainly uses drones here. Got drones but it's also got some extra weapon systems right here. The Dragoon is a bit of a mixed damage type or mixed weapon system kind of ship. You see it's got 3 launchers and 3 turret hardpoints. So I put some light missiles. The reason I just basically put like this was because of fitting. I had a bit of trouble having like I could have more DPS if I put 3 of these pulse lasers here, but I went with light missiles. And also the good thing about light missiles is that you have like really good you like range with them, so you can just do damage all the time. However, here in these sites, range is not a whole big thing because everything just like orbits at you really close. But still, sometimes you do have stuff that spawns out like maybe 15-20 kilometers occasionally. So it's nice to have those missiles right here. And then the drones, obviously, they can go out also far to be able to do damage too. The way it works is that I've got 3 drone sets. So I've got one for DPS, and this is what is going to be used on the boss. And then I've got 2 cheap sets here, which are basically just Tech 1 variants. And these can be used then, like on the first wave, you know, where you're killing all those crap NPCs in the beginning. The reason I've got them is because there's a lot of drone aggro in this room, and these faction drones, Imperial Navy Acolytes, they're quite expensive drones, or relatively speaking, quite expensive. It would actually be better if you went with Tech 2 drones if you have the skills, because they're cheaper and do more DPS, so I would prefer to have Tech 2 variants, but I don't actually have the skills for them on this character to use them. So this is good. It'll give you a representation of what a character has with low skills or will do in this site. But you can still use these in the first room. Just be careful because the NPCs, they do like to attack the drones quite a bit. So you're going to have to manage your drones a bit. Like, just make sure you don't lose them, because if you lose these, they do cost you like... It's not like completely free like the Tech 1s. You see, it costs like a couple of million here. Now in Lone Trek, we're not in G2, which is the region of space with a lot of, you know, good offers here. Lone Trek is a bit of a different case because there's not as much trading going on here. But these Tech 1 variants are just dirt cheap, basically don't cost anything to lose. Okay, but we can try to find this site right here. So if we go in the agency or exploration combat anomalies, we can see if there's anything nearby. Anything nearby, anything nearby, anything nearby. Okay, nothing here. We can go to a system with lots of anomalies. There's 3 here in Hikota. So we'll go here. You can see here on my Dragoon, I've got this skin right here. This is a Canid skin. It's one of my favorite color schemes, in fact, for the Dragoon. And I didn't buy this. I got this for free because when you log in occasionally from day to day, you sometimes get like a random skin, just a random skin, and it lasts for 30 days. So in this case, I've got it for 30 days. You can see here. If I go here, 30 days. This is volatile. It's not like a permanent one. The permanent one costs, I think, 100 million or something like that. So it's not like a dirt cheap skin. But this one I got for free. And that's something that I think that really they should do more in EVE Online. If CCP Aura, or if any kind of CCP member are watching this, please make it so that we get these like free skins that last maybe for 30 days, but make it based off ships I use. Here, it was completely a coincidence that I happened to get a Dragoon skin and I decided to go out in a Dragoon. But often, for example, I could be using like Gila for Abyss, or I don't know, Sunesis for exploration, or Paladin for missioning, or Nurgle for burners. Make it, I think you guys should make it so that where like it bases, we get a random skin like we do now, because many times I get skins of ships I never use. So make it so that maybe you get a skin for the ship you've used most amount of hours in space, or maybe the top 3 ships you've used for the most amount of time undocking, not just like sitting in your station, but like actually undocking. So I think that would be pretty cool if you guys could do that. I would really love to do that because I think skins are a really important part of the game. Many people think that they're really useless, but I think that it's nice to fly stuff that looks really good, because I think the graphics of EVE Online look amazing, and having ships that look good, I think that makes the whole experience a whole lot better. So we can see here because this agency thing, it only looks at systems that are 1 jump away. You can see what is there, and we can see here in Hikota we've got a hunt outpost. Now here's the thing, when we go here we need to be a little bit careful that no one else is there, because people have been telling me, because I was a bit of a noob of this, because it's like I was one of the first people to ever do this. It was a very new thing that first time I did this, but I've been reading around, listening to what people have told me and that kind of stuff, and when you use this keycard right here, apparently there is a risk that someone, like if you activate it, someone else can activate it at the same time. So what I would say is only activate the second gate if there's no one else there. Because if there's someone there, I think there is a risk that they can take the gate as well, because it like makes it available to all, I think, for a few seconds. I don't know if they've maybe patched that, because I did run a site yesterday and I tried warping in or like using the second gate, not this one, when someone else is using it. But I would not want to waste these keys because they're quite hard to come by if you're mainly in high sec. I definitely want to sometime go to low sec or null sec maybe to find the keys and do some sites there. I don't know if they give better loot. You guys who do these sites in null sec and low sec, have you noticed that you get better loot than in high sec? Let me know because I'll be very curious to know, because I think it would be a fun adventure to go down there and see what kind of stuff you would get. Okay, so here's the thing. When you go in here, you're going to get webified to pieces. So just go in one direction. You can activate your Afterburner, but to be honest, you don't even need to activate your Afterburner. Take out your DPS set if you want to kill them fast, or if you want to be don't want to risk losing your drones, you can take your cheap ones as well. And you can see here we tank very good, absolutely no problem. If I just AFK here, I think I will die, but the thing is we kill stuff pretty fast, so we get DPS off the field anyway very fast. But you can see here, as soon as we start killing stuff, our tank goes almost to full HP, so that's pretty cool. See here, we can go close to this Caracal right here. I was considering to use rockets, in fact. Rockets would be a good alternative because everything is really close here, but I like the ability to just have one weapon system that at least could hit out very far combined with my drones. It's nice. Well, here you definitely could use rockets, and if I had rockets, I can also, in fact, improve other areas of my ship. I could have Tech 2 cat batteries instead of the Tech 1 variants I've got right now, but I still feel like I prefer light missiles. I think it's nice to be able to hit out to 32 kilometers, which I can right now. Let's recall our drones. Something that I really like to have is a hotkey to recall my drones. So if you guys go into shortcuts, I put a Shift F or return all drones to drone bay. It's really nice because you can press F to have your drones engage the enemy target, and then you just Shift F to return them. I think it's really nice. There is another hotkey that's default, but I prefer much more to have like Shift F. It feels more natural because you press F to attack, and then just hold on Shift and F to recall them. Okay, let's go and attack these condors because they always get up close and personal real fast. We can go and kill them. They're very close right here. They die very quickly. They have basically no tank whatsoever. Little scrubby condors. What do you think you're going to do to the mighty Dragoon? The mighty Dragoon destroyer. The cannon Dragoon. He's like a brick tank. It looks a bit like a brick, this ship. I think it looks really cool. But it also looks a bit like a brick, it's quite rectangular. But I like it. It's a cool looking ship in my opinion. A good little PvE boat. You can see here, my Acolyte ones took a bit of damage right there. And it's okay. These are drones that anyway cost nothing, and it's not like I'll lose it from just taking a bit of shield and armor damage. It's more like, if you're not paying attention, then it will get destroyed, but if they are taking damage, you can always just recall them straight away, and then the enemy NPCs, they're going to decide to switch off to you instead. So that's the whole reason why I like to have that command, to be able to recall my drones very easily with the Shift F, because then as soon as I see taking damage, I just Shift F, boop, they're back. I don't have to like click here and drag them or anything like that. I was thinking that it would be nice if you could overheat drones. It's in when I used to do this incursion running a long time ago. Incursion running is like a kind of high-end PvE activity. You can do it in high sec, also low sec, but it's done a lot more in high sec, I believe. And you basically just kill a bunch of Sancha people, and you get a lot of. It's quite hard though. You have to be in a very organized fleet, and there's like these kind of bases you need to destroy to complete like the mission or the objective. And sometimes when there's another fleet who wants to compete, because the only people who get the rewards for completing the site is if you manage to destroy the base or do the most amount of damage to the base. So sometimes when people have got their drones out, they just jokingly say like, oh, overheat drones. Okay, let's bring in my Imperial navies right here and knock out this Blackbird who's ECMing me like the little scrub he is. Now we've got a Sunesis over here, and I don't like this because this means that he's probably going to take the site, which is very unfortunate. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to waste my keycard. If he uses it, I'm going to try to go in, and we'll see if that works. But I'm not going to sit here and waste my keycard because I almost could have lost it before. Before, when I was using the Vengeance to get the boss site of this Guristas hunt, then Agama came in, and he could have stolen the loot if he was able to. He could have just stolen the loot and go criminal, but he also could have had a legal right to a quote unquote legal right to the loot if he had had more DPS than me. Luckily, I was able to out DPS him, so I got the loot. This is a case where I would say that light missiles are good. You see that this Bantams, the logistics ships, they tend to just sit out quite fast. This is a case where the light missiles are nice to have. And that Sunesis went away, so that's good. That's good. We can reload here. You know, it was a kind of a funny thing that happened. In fact, I can tell you guys in a bit, but there was, like, I can show you in my video that I have, but the prices of certain items have just gone through the roof that have been used through this event. Like, people who are good at market stuff, they could have earned they probably, well, many who did earn so much ISK, because some of the items I bought, like this armor repair and some other kind of like ships, assault frigates, stuff that would be good for, generally speaking, Tech 2 variants of ships, they would go up so much in price overnight. I mean, I'll show you in a bit in my video what the price is, and then we can see what the price is now, because it really just pulled a full 180 overnight. You see here, it's really chill. It's really damn chill in this Dragoon. So good tank, pretty good DPS, and I like it how it's pretty good and well applied DPS as well. You're always really doing that damage. It doesn't matter how far they are, you can still do damage with the light missiles, and if they're up close, you can just beam them down with your multi-frequency right here, and you apply pretty well with your multi-frequency as well. So it's very nice that they've got a pretty accessible event here. That's something I would really applaud CCP on, though, because it was a bit frustrating finding the keys, but at least this is a very like new player friendly event. I think that's pretty good, especially since most of these events they involve having to use like a really high-end battleship. This is a good contrast, especially for if I was a new player starting out. I would really appreciate this really a lot more than those other events, just because I would be able to run this pretty easily. So let's make our way towards this acceleration gate. It doesn't seem like there's anyone really here. And now there's no one here. We can even maybe reload our missiles. I tried a different ship called the Coercer. The Coercer is, you could say it's like a Mar Destroyer, but it's like a bit like the Dragoon, but it's a lot more focused on DPS than tank. The Dragoon has more low slots, and it enables me to have better like armor repairing abilities, because naturally speaking, the Dragoon has a bit better capacitor than the Coercer, and also since I have a fourth mid slot, the Coercer only has 3. Then I can have this power relay right here, which enables me to have more capacitor. It also, I think, has 3 mid slots, while the Coercer, I think, only has 2 or 3. I can't remember. But either way. I tried it, and it worked good on my AC Facey account. I was just about to got through. I was doing so much DPS, so I was able to clear the site so much quicker than I was able to with this Dragoon. But, on the other hand, it was a bit of like a tight battle. It was not like something that just worked straight away. And also, I had to overheat my Hardener a bit. It was not a simple thing, and I had good skills. So this, I don't think that would have been a good alpha alternative, because he would obviously perform a lot worse than I would. Okay, so this guy's going down. Let's just keep an eye on my drones. Just make sure they don't get absolutely wrecked. You can see here we're taking a bit of damage, but I think it's alright. You see here our tank is hovering about 75%, and this guy's anyway going down, so it looks pretty good here. So wreck this kid, and hope we get a Gecko BPC. That'll be really good, because I've seen people, they'd be getting a Gecko blueprint, and I wonder if it's more common to get this kind of stuff in low sec, because maybe I remember at least from the previous hunt event that I had a friend who ran them, and he said that they are really good stuff you can get. Like, he could get 400 to 500 million per each site by doing them in low sec. So there we go. We did this this site right here. Super simple, and this is like a low skill Dragoon as well, really accessible. Not too expensive either. It's a little bit more expensive because I've got this loot in me. But if we go here to the fit right here, you can see it costs 15 million. So it's, I mean, it's not extremely cheap, but it's not extremely expensive either. It's nothing that will, I can imagine, nothing that will really break the bank. One exploration run in a Tech 1 Explorer will be able to fund one of these. And I would say that's pretty good for the kind of loot you can get from these. So if you want to repair your drones very quickly or for free, then go to one of these citadels, because you can just repair stuff like this and it doesn't cost anything. That's just a cool little tip right there if you alpha clones want to save money, because that's something I would do a lot, especially when I was a new player. I would do that all the time, just I don't want to spend money on repairing one. I can get it for free in these citadels. But just something I wanted to show you guys quickly that was pretty cool. If we go here, small armor repair, Corelli A-type small armor pace here, 38 million, okay, 38 million sell, 30 million buy, okay. We look here a couple of days ago, yeah, I was with my Vengeance. I showed you guys doing the site for the first time, and I bought one of these, or in fact 2 of them. You can see here, and this very same module just a few days ago went for 17 million in the sell and 40 million in the buy order. So basically a direct doubling or even more than doubling of the price just over a few days. So that's really cool for you guys who could like predict the price going up so much. I can imagine there was a lot of ISK made right here. Look at how much more they go for. If we take a little bit of a look at if we just like this, you can see here, just went up so much. You see 17 million or average is 18 and 39 just like that. So it's pretty interesting. Another thing is the Vengeance. Vengeance was a pretty popular ship. I just took it by chance. I just thought I think it looks like a cool ship and it has a good tank. But I thought also Retribution and some destroyers would do just as well. In fact, maybe even better because they would have more DPS. But it seems like a lot of people still like the Vengeance anyway, just because it's a very tanky ship, I can imagine. So look how much it's gone up in price. Like, look at this. Look at this. I bought it for like 40, 30 million, something like that. But to be honest, I think you would get do this sites a lot faster if you want to destroy. Destroyers have a lot more DPS than Vengeance, and you can see right here. Like this crappy Tech 1 Dragoon with basic stuff like, okay, Tech 2 armor repairs with like Tech 1 armor hardness is able to get through this no problem. So I don't know why the Vengeance is so expensive, but it seems like it's a very popular ship nonetheless. Either way, that's it. So Dragoon for Alpha Clones to be able to do the Guristas hunt. Passes with flying colors have had no issues whatsoever with it, and it's a pretty low skill requirements. Hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.